Oh,
it's live. Boom.
There we go. He rolled out. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Format Podcast Live, Sunday night edition, NFL Weekly Wrap-Up. Man, you really got to work on that clap, man. That's disturbing.
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
It's good.
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing. Just Ray, go ahead and wrap up this. Well, we got two Monday night games tomorrow, but we're gonna wrap up this Sunday of NFL action, and it's been pretty good. Had some surprises on the slate. So
yes,
you know how we do. You know how we do. But before we get to it, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. All right. So let's get right to it, man. It's not that serious. Good to see you, man. I appreciate the love.
What it is, dummy?
Good. Right. All right.
But
so
hey, man. Before we kick this thing off, man, it's a special day today, ain't it?
Say again.
It's a special day today, ain't it?
Special day, how, man?
I think it's something special going on today.
What you talking about? We got plenty of football today, man.
Didn't you turn a calendar year this year? Today?
I did. Okay,
man.
This is what happens when you get late at night, man. I get tired. I start thinking, man. You know, that's why I had that
chat, man.
You know,
put happy birthday, Bruce. All right, happy birthday, big dog, big baritone, the great phenomenon, the Format Podcast original. Let's go, MC on the low. You know what I mean? Ravens fan on the high. Let's get it, man. Let's go. Happy birthday, G. Happy birthday.
I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for that, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, blessed to see another one.
How's it feel to be 26 again?
Oh, man. That's a long time ago.
Don't tell nobody how long, man. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah, it's all good, man. No shame, man. All right, let's get to it, man. So, the game we just finished watching today, man. Serious. Ravens dismantled the Buffalo Bills 35-10. Dismantled. And I think the biggest takeaway here, obviously, is what we've been talking about it for a while now, and I don't know if it's the opposition or if Todd Monken seemingly finally is getting things figured out. And what is that? You got to run the football, man. They were stopping the run. Yep. Baltimore's been stopping the run. They're number one in the league in rush defense. But in terms of running the football, they weren't too adamant about that. And, you know, that goes back all the way to last year, AFC Championship game. But now it looks like they got it figured out. And last two games, they're over 250 yards rushing. Derrick Henry ends up 24 carries, $199 a night. And the Ravens overall, 34 carries, 271. I think they got 274 last week against Cowboys. So over the last 2 weeks, it looks like they're really starting to turn up and crank out and churn out this run game. And, you know, that is what the Ravens need to do if they're going to be successful, because once they get that going, they're extremely, extremely hard to defend. So I'm gonna drop it here, and I'm gonna go to G. Go for it, G. And remember, we got a bunch of other games to cover too. I know how you get down.
Yeah, man. I think you kind of hit it on the nose. You know, Todd Monken kind of got his act together. He was able to put together a game plan that didn't include a bunch of BS plays. I did
Mhm.
see 3rd and 6. We did a pitch play, and I think it was a cut to Todd Monken where they showed him, and it seemed like he was getting cussed out by somebody. I don't know who, but he was real livid on about that play call and how it didn't go well. And so I think there's some QA going on with his play calling where he's actually getting rated based off of how well he do in those 3rd down situations. I don't know, just speculation, but if you read his body language, you can tell somebody above him was really getting on him. But really good
Mhm.
game. I think our cornerbacks did a great job today. That secondary, man, lockdown. I saw the kid Nate Wiggins standing on his own, where Josh Allen didn't go to his side that much, and so I don't know what's going on in the chat, but and so when it comes to the secondary playing well, I know Roquan, he's definitely going to stop. He's definitely going to put a helmet on folks, and so just watching the secondary kind of do their thing, and that pass rush was great.
Yeah,
Derrick
Mhm.
Henry
it was
running a
solid.
lot of those big plays.
Mhm.
Um, was Pancake Pat, right? Like we talked about this before. I'm like, yo, week 1, like why are we not putting Pancake Pat and Derrick Henry in the power eye and pushing the ball down their throats? Like, why are we not doing
Mhm.
it?
Right.
And so it was good to see, just good to see that, man. As got a win in the bank, a dub in the bank, good stuff. Today's a good day, Today is a good
It
day.
ain't week 8, but it's good, right?
Yeah. Josh Allen is one of those guys, man. Like let's like Lamar went in there and he outplayed him. He's one of those guys. He came in home. Hey, listen, Lamar would have been a unanimous pick last year MVP if somebody didn't vote for Josh Allen. So I think it was Hope, but I ain't going. I think it was Bruce, but I ain't gonna call him out on it. I think it was
I'll
Bruce.
say this: I don't know that I don't know that there's a season where Josh Allen probably shouldn't get one MVP vote. The guy's that good,
See, that's what I'm
but
saying.
I'm
See,
not.
see what I'm going through right now. See what I'm going through.
You
Kid
you
did
going
nothing
through
today.
objectivity? Is that it?
Yeah, man. He didn't go through any. He didn't do anything today, man. He didn't show up. They
I
pulled the
agree.
plug on the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that
But
happens.
that's pretty much all I got, man. I'm seeing Lamar make a few mistakes, but overall total domination by the Ravens. It looks like we starting to come into our own, and it's good to watch, man. It's good to watch.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the fact they keep it simple, or they have been keeping it simple the last couple games. That's to me, that's what needed to happen ever since bringing in Derrick Henry, and really ever since last season. But that's a different thing. I'm not going to go back that far, but ever since bringing in Derrick Henry, that's what needed to happen. I love my guy Kyle Hamilton. He's just everywhere, all over the field. He's just
Go Irish.
you already know, but he's one of those guys that he's a Swiss Army knife type defender, and he can be everywhere. But go ahead, Transformer. Let's get your thoughts on this game as well.
I mean, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse here, man.
Mhm.
Baltimore, not Josh Allen. I almost said the wrong name. Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
He was heated by that win that they got last week against the Cowboys, and he showed it today. The team showed up, the defense showed up, the
Mhm.
offensive line showed up. Todd Monken showed up. He
Yeah.
showed up. When you run the ball 34 times and you only have 19 pass attempts, that's a
Mhm.
good ratio for the team that you got with the Baltimore Ravens. So
I
I'm
agree.
glad they stuck to their roots. I mean, you came out the gate with 87-yard touchdown run by Derrick Henry, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the football game when it came to like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want to do, and we're going to do it. You guys can't
Mhm.
stop it.
That's
And
right.
best of luck to y'all when y'all get the ball back. The defense really did a phenomenal job on keeping Josh Allen on the sideline, three and out, forcing a fumble.
Yeah.
Really just getting at him, man. Really just getting at him, forcing him to make indirect decisions. And really, just running to the sideline versus running up in the pocket, getting the first down with his legs,
Yeah.
as Josh Allen
Yeah.
is known to do. You had to run into the sideline. So when you have Josh Allen doing that, and your secondary is playing outstanding defense in the coverage game, you're gonna win that. You're gonna win those football games. You can't stop Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry when they're on fire like that from the running perspective. But
Mhm.
they came in and they got it done. It was a little nervous before. In the 3rd quarter when when the Bills went up 10, scored 10, and they got the ball
Yeah.
back, and it looked like they were
Yeah.
having a nice little drive. But I believe it was Van Noy who made that strip sack and got y'all the ball back. and really just shut all that momentum down. And ever since then, it was game over. It was curtains from there. So it was a good win, man. Good win.
Yeah, very good win.
Yep.
To that point you just made before we move on to the next game, what I will say is that I'm thoroughly impressed with the fact that the Ravens defensively kept on the gas and did not allow Josh Allen and the Bills to get back into this game the way they have in recent weeks in terms of being up early in a dominant fashion and then, letting the opposition kind of claw their way back into this thing. So, I think just great job overall. And, Ravens are now 2-2 and firmly back in the thick of things in terms of the AFC race and, how it's going to go. Only week 4, but I'm sure they're going to be feeling good about themselves here tonight.
Feeling real good, man. 2-2, better than 1-3.
Absolutely.
But chat, man, we ain't gonna let Bruce escape real quick. He definitely had Buffalo winning this game, by the way. But we're gonna go ahead and continue moving on.
Yeah,
I did. That's right.
Yeah,
I did. I forgot about that.
I believe. You know what? But while we're there, Chris did ask what is our record for the week. So far, Bruce is 5-14, and I am 9-14. You're 5-14 on your pick so far.
Hey, transformer choose violence.
Hey, no, they threw it in the chat, bro. They threw it in the chat. I'm responding to the chat.
Wait. How we 5-14? What are we talking about?
5-14. You have 5 out of 14 correct picks.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
Christopher in the chat, he asked earlier, what's our records? And
damn, that's rough.
I went and did the numbers. But yeah.
Josh Allen today, bro. He ain't got no receivers.
Sorry, though.
He 3-0, bro, but they ain't beat nobody really, man.
Hey, I could only go on how they had played so far. So it's all good.
Hey, but yeah.
Not mad at that.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That was awesome, Transformer, by the way.
You're welcome.
I did not know you bet against the Ravens, bro. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Hey, no, he was riding the wave, man. I mean, his pick was methodical. He had a reason why.
Exactly.
And like I said, at first I picked Buffalo at first, but I recall you started speaking, and then I started having a revelation of Lamar Jackson and him being heated, and that's when I changed my pick. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with Baltimore on this one. You never seen a mad Lamar Jackson, and once Lamar's mad, man, I'm curious to see what that team looks like. They came out angry, and I mean, obviously you don't want Lamar mad anymore.
But if you remember too, I think part of my issue was I didn't trust Todd Monken. I remember.
That was it.
Yeah,
like I said, it was methodical. It was
good win.
It was,
yeah. G is one of those dudes that'll pick the Ravens every week, no matter what. Like that's not analysis.
And listen, and my record would be better than 5-14 too.
We'll see how it plays out. It's all good. I'm not mad. That's all good. All right. Where we at next? Transformer.
We're gonna roll on over to unfortunately my team, Vikings and Packers game. Vikings go in Green Bay and they win it 31-29. And what looked to be like a butt cutting at first.
That's what I thought it was going to be. That's right.
Yeah, it looked like a butt cutting at first, and then we finally got a little rhythm with the defense, getting some stops. Jordan Love, getting the ball in the end zone like we expected us to, and made it respectable. We were onside kick away from at least having the opportunity to try to win the game with a field goal, but I believe for the most part, to me, it was like one of those empty calorie type games up until that last 3 minutes of the quarter, 3 minutes of the game. But kicker stunk it up, man. Kicker just didn't put us in a place to where we could have made the game respectable. It was 2 opportunities missed from the field goal, and we actually went for it on our 3rd attempt instead of going for the field goal because we couldn't trust our kicker. So to me, that's 9 points that we left up on the board, you know what I mean? And that could have kept the game a little bit more close. You add 9 points to the 29 that we got, we win that ball game, but that's in hindsight looking at those numbers. But Brian Flores, man, he did a great job to our offense in the first half. And, Green Bay finally picked it up in the second half. I believe we held them 3 points the entire half. And, that's when we started going on that run. But for the most part, man, Love was just extremely sloppy. All of his throws were very, very low. Yeah, he had 3 picks. His balls were very low. If you look at it, Wicks was really diving low for all of his catches that he had so far. And then he kept throwing in a double and triple coverage. And I'm like, okay, man, stop trying to fit the ball in, pause, when you just got back and you're not, fully up to par with the ball game. So for parts of the game, I wanted Malik Willis to kind of come in there and weather the storm, stick back to the run that we've been doing for the last 2 to 3 weeks.
I thought about that. I felt like they rushed. Jordan Love back a week too early, maybe. But I kind of get it. It was a division game, so they wanted to try and get that division game. But I think they should have kept on with what they were doing in terms of Malik Willis.
Precisely.
Yeah. But it's going to be.
It is what it is.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. I mean, we know what this team is capable of. We know how good Jordan Love is, but maybe just one game too early in terms of everything was flowing real nicely for the Pack.
I think if we were to bring him back today, then we should have ran the offensive scheme like we did with Malik Willis. Run heavy. Like we passed the ball 54 times and we only ran it 19. That's the total opposite, night and day, of what we were doing the last couple of games with Malik Willis. Granted, we know Jordan Love can throw the ball, but for them first couple of passes that he thrown, you're like, okay, you know what? Let's make this a run heavy scheme. Let's get like Jordan Love more, get him loose, pause, and the scheme of things, and maybe he can make better throws, and we can have some better routes that are run. But it is what it is. 2 and 2, not too bad, man.
Contracts always play a role in the way those things get dealt with. Most of these guys are like, man, we're not paying you $250 million for you to turn around and hand it off 40 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
but at least in one game. No, I'm not saying for the rest of the season.
I totally understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that I think is a lot of times is the mentality. And they're saying, the reason we played it that way with Malik Willis because he's new to the scheme. He hasn't been here the whole time. Yeah. And so that makes the transition easier on him. But with Jordan Love, he knows it. He's been in this scheme for 3 years now, and he can get in there and he can throw it. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out McKinney, man. This is 4 games in a row. He has an interception. So he's definitely looking for some type of defensive award. Yeah. with those type of stats, man.
Yeah, it's not that serious. Justin Jefferson is a problem. We know this.
Yeah.
He definitely made some crazy catches. You're 100% right, man.
I don't think anybody thought that Minnesota was going to be this good this year.
No,
nobody.
Especially not with Sam Darnold. I absolutely didn't believe that.
But the thing is, he wasn't even supposed to start. It was supposed to be J.J. McCarthy.
Well,
so I think they had an injury that blessed them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard in camp that J.J. McCarthy was he was like the third string. He was the third string, and then I guess he got moved up to second, but then he got hurt, and so he's out pretty much the whole year, which I think they did by design just to let him sit and continue to learn, which is cool. Yeah. But really, Christopher, nah, man, Sam Darnold he's not going to continue to play like this. He's not this good. He's not. We've watched this dude in the league for 4 or 5 years now. He's not this good. He won't continue to play this way. Yeah. If he does, I'll have to come and say I was wrong, but I can't see it. But as of right now, yeah, he's balling, no doubt.
Yeah, that was a big win. I turned it off, 28-0.
Like, we were getting curb stomped.
Yeah, I got to move on.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I turned my TV off. I was like, you know what? Let me watch this Atlanta game, bro. Like, it's more entertaining. Then all of a sudden, I started seeing a score change. I'm like, okay, no. Let me turn that back on. Let's see what's going on. Right. But yeah.
All right, G, you got anything to add before we move on to the next game?
I don't.
All right.
No.
Next up.
Oh, I'm rolling with it. Okay, we got Falcons and Saints.
Yeah, you rolling.
Okay, I got you. Falcons and Saints, man. Falcons go in and win a close game. This was a nail biter. I believe Koo hit the game-winning field goal to win the game 26-24, man. What you got about that?
Man, I picked the Saints. I did. So this is crazy. I found out today how evenly matched this division rivalry is, right? So they played, going into today, they played 110 times in history, and they were at 55-55. Like, it's dead. And now you see this game was dead even, right? Derek Carr, 28 for 36, 239 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Kirk Cousins, 21 for 35, 238 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was pretty much evenly matched. So you watch this, and it worked out the exact way, evenly matched game. And they got in a position, and the kick was made. I mean, I don't think there's really too much to say about it. It wasn't a particularly sloppy game. It wasn't an explosive game. It was a good game.
No, definitely a good game, man. What you got about G? What happened? What I missed? My young Hoku.
That's fire. That's
young
fire.
Hoku.
Yeah, that was fire. Yes.
Hey,
yeah,
that boy seals the deal. If you got him in your fantasy
sure
team,
did.
you probably won a couple of ball games.
That's right.
I think he was 4 for 4.
That's good, Christopher. I like that.
4 for 4. Sheesh.
Oh, girl, be tripping, but my young Hoku. Oh man, yeah. What you got on this, G?
I don't have anything on it. Nothing at all. I thought the Saints was going to come out and do a little better, but they caught fire early on in the season. It looked like they started to fizzle out. So it's like, it's just I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, but we knew something like that was unsustainable. I mean, you got to come back down to earth. Eventually, you're not going to score 90 points in 2 games for the remainder of the season. Now, can you probably get back to 30? I mean, you got 24 today. I mean, that's still pretty good as far as the offensive side of the game. But I had Atlanta in this game, and I mean, I'm proud of them boys, man. Kirk Cousins went down, got him another game-winning drive. You know what I mean? Put the team in success. Gave his young Hoku an opportunity. So, they did their thing, man. They did their thing.
That's not true, Christopher. By the way,
what's that?
You
only here to talk about the Ravens.
Talk about the Ravens.
Hey, you're gonna hear like less and less commentary about these games from here on out, man. It's gonna get real minimal around this month.
All right, what's up next, man?
All right, we got the Bears shockingly going. I know. I think this was in LA, right?
This was in LA. Yeah, this was
going to LA and beating Stafford.
Yeah. Caleb was not terrible today, so you're seeing some improvement with him. 17 to 23, 157 and a touchdown. So not terrible, but Chicago finally got the rushing game going. 28 carries, 131 yards. So
yeah. About time.
Right.
About
Let
time,
him lean
man.
on that,
Like, man.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
DeAndre Swift out there, 16 carries, 93 yards in the tutty. Like, you got him for a reason. Use the kid, man. You saw what he did in Philly. You saw what he did in Georgia. Use that kid, man.
Yeah.
That man is a beast,
and of course,
man.
Matt Stafford literally gave the game away. You can almost expect him to give you one at some point. Yeah. So, there's that.
He's a risk taker, man.
Yeah. My guy, Kyron the Siren, very solid game. 19 carries, 94 yards and a tud. Go Irish.
Oh, yeah, you had to throw that one in there, huh?
I did. You already know what it is, man.
I mean, I feel you.
But no, good game overall, man. Like I said, you're seeing some improvement from Caleb, and that's good. He appears to be beginning to adjust to the speed of the NFL. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Chicago's defense is good, man. Their defense is good, and they keep the Bears in a lot of these games to where if Caleb doesn't make mistakes and they can run it, they got a chance. So yeah, good win for the Bears.
No, that's very, very true. I mean, you kept them. I'm not gonna say on a leash, but 23 throws. You know what I mean? That's nothing too crazy. You're not making them throw the ball all over the place.
Right.
He has a touchdown. He got sacked 3 times. But as you saw with the run game, things will open up for you as a rookie quarterback. So
correct.
When you're running the ball more than you're passing the ball for a player like Caleb Williams, you're gonna open up the game for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. If things start to slow down a little bit, he can trust in his run game. I mean, DeAndre Swift, like I said, was going off. He had 160 total scrimmage yards today. You know what I mean? That'll help your rookie quarterback get it done, man. When you lean on your running back.
Yes, sir. That will get it done. G, you were saying something?
No, I was just thinking about what they gave up for this team last year, off season, all those picks, just to move Justin around and to be in a similar situation. I think they would have been if they kept. No change right now in my eyes.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think the only thing with that is the Bears have a history of not doing the right thing at the quarterback position, and they didn't want to be in another spot where they don't take Caleb. He turns out to be special somewhere else, and they missed out on him because they're saying, well, We've already had 4 years of Justin Fields. We think we know what he is and what he's got, even though, he didn't have the best situation around him. But there's that. And then also Ryan Poles and the rest of those guys are trying to keep their jobs too. You know what I mean? So they're like, at least if we draft the young kid, maybe that gives us an extension and, lengthens the lifeline on our jobs. So I think there was also some self-preservation at play there. It is
possible. But the Bears, they got the dub.
They did a lot of things though.
Right.
They could have traded down and got an offensive line. Justin was running for his life last year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple things they could have did, but you're right. You're right.
But I think in that retrospect, you're a year away from paying them too. So you're trying to think about, okay, how can we shorten up the leash on the salary cap? If we get three more years out of Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, you're literally gonna have to pay him next season.
That's right.
So I also think that probably had a little bit of a play.
Oh, yeah.
You can
always the money.
A fresher quarterback, pay him that rookie salary for 3 seasons, and then go from there. So I think that was a huge.
I guess they learned from their mistakes because didn't they pay Mitch Trubisky? He got paid, right?
I think the next team paid him.
Next team paid him.
I don't think he ever got a real extension. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Somebody look that up. Hey, Tyler's here, man. Go look up Mitch Trubisky's his contracts over the season. I think they were all like 1 and 2 years.
I mean, that makes sense. If you paid him and then if you paid him, because I think somebody left their wallet or some shit, right? Like somebody, it was like some controversy.
Was it Pittsburgh?
So that was
Pittsburgh.
No, I can't.
Yeah, Mitch got a bag. Hey, Mitch got a bag by who?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Chicago.
No. Let's see.
I mean, honestly, Chicago should be one of the only ones to be able to pay him coming off the rookie salary.
Let's see, earnings per team. No, he never got a bag. So he had his rookie deal, and then after Chicago, he went to the Bills, and he made $5.2 million. Then he went to the Steelers, and he made $14.2 million, and now he's back with the Bills. So he never got a big second deal.
Nah, $14 million. Nah, that's chump change in the quarterback world.
Correct.
Yeah.
He got a bag compared to us, Christopher.
Correct. That's right. Compared to us.
Okay, 14 million compared to us.
Right.
But no, I don't think he was a backup when he got that bag in Pittsburgh. He was actually the starter, I want to say. This was post Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, there you go.
So there was a
Christopher, when
Big Ben.
When we say 14 mil is not a bag, we mean 14 mil is not a bag in the modern NFL quarterback market. That's what we're saying.
So that's what they do. That's in
close.
line with what Chicago do. They don't play their quarterbacks. They ride their rookie contract out and then shelf them or trade them. So cut them.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. That's the Bears' way. The Bears.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all got anything else on this game? Bruce, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right, brother. We're going to move on over. Speaking of the Steelers have now taken an L by the Colts, by the backup in the master class, Joe
Another
Flacco.
one of my 14. Well,
Joe
not
Flacco
my 14.
beats the Steelers, man.
Yeah, my 5 of 14. So that's one of my 9. Listen, Flacco, man, at some point, people got to realize he can still play.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, he can still play.
I mean, he came in and got a touchdown immediately. I mean, he capped off a drive that Anthony Richardson was, orchestrating, but he showed that veteran presence by immediately coming to the game, getting the ball in the end zone.
That's right.
Putting the ball in the end zone later on in that game, extending drives and things like that. Showing, Richardson, hey man, just stay out of harm's way. Please stop running into tackles, bro. You see this will put you out of the game. So I don't even know what's the update on that injury. He did leave the game with a hip injury, and I think the coach got some backlash about that because when he did it the first time, they brought him back into the game, and he literally tried to scramble out to the left, and he literally just slid down and, immediately went to grabbing at his hip. So they were like, hey, man, you guys didn't, check on this kid to make sure he was even healthy enough to go back in the game. And now, he possibly looking at something serious because, I mean, a hip, when it comes to a quarterback, that could be season ending. because you're using your hips to make those turns, make those throws. You're getting sacked, you're getting leaned on, and things like that. And especially for a runner like Anthony Richardson, he uses his legs a lot, so he hurts his hip. Then that could be costly. But they got it done. 27-24. Justin Fields had 27-24. What did I say?
You ain't say 27-24. I don't know what you said. You ain't say that.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, 27-24. We said, Joe Flacco came in and orchestrated a good win. Jonathan Taylor is going to be Jonathan Taylor. 21 carries on the ground, 88 yards. You want that from your top dog. Shout out Badgers. That boy he's a workhorse, man. He's a workhorse. Pittman 113 receiving yards. Coming from Joe Flacco. So Joe is showing that, man. Us old heads still got a little wind in us.
Still got a little wind in us.
Still got a little wind in us, man.
Yeah.
100 wins.
January Joe. Say again.
You got over 100 wins. Man, one of your not so seasoned players or quarterbacks go out. You can, you make sure you have a play plays set aside just for Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
That win against the Steelers was big, though.
Very
really,
big.
No, it definitely was.
Very big.
Jonathan Taylor did get hurt, but they're saying it's a very mild sprain, so they're not.
Mild ankle sprain. Yeah,
it was a mild sprain. So he may miss one game, but they're not looking at him missing any.
So can we give some credit here that this game today was one of the best games Justin Fields has yet played as a pro?
Oh,
He seems like he's starting to get comfortable and fit in. He's developing a rapport with George Pickens. Pickens 7 catches, 13 yards on 11 targets. 7 catches, 113 yards on 11 targets. Justin Fields 22 of 34 for 312, 1 touchdown. Now, what I will say, there are still times that he runs himself into sacks. There are still times that he can see the field better. He's got to process a little faster. I don't know if that's something that'll ever improve. Maybe you just got to work with him schematically to open things up a bit to make it easier, since he may not be the most adept at reading defenses. But he seems to be picking up Arthur Smith's scheme, and he seems to be playing better. And at this rate, I don't know that Russell Wilson is going to have an opportunity to take that job back.
No, I
disagree.
Okay, G, you take that away there.
Yeah, I disagree. I look at the game 5. We talked about this in the beginning of the year when we was picking who was going to come out of what division or what conference, right? And if you look at the rest of their schedule, man, they got gauntlets. They have to go through the gauntlet. And if he played the best game that he played today and he still lost, that says a lot about how well he's going to do the rest of this year. I mean, he lost against the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts. I mean, like, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, all right, well,
if not for Joe Flacco, he beats the Colts. But go ahead though. So
yeah. Maybe, I mean, you can say that, but today that didn't happen, right?
Right.
I mean, Joe Flacco was in his way. I think if Russell Wilson was playing, it would have been a different game. I mean, we're talking about 2 seasoned veterans going at each other, going at it. I don't believe that Justin Fields is either elite and or seasoned in this modern NBA, in this NBA, I should say. I just don't think he's going to be able to get it done for him. NFL. I'm sorry, NFL.
No,
he's not going to be able to get it done.
Jason Tatum. It's all good.
No, I'm really not. I just don't think the kid got it, man. I don't think he's going to be able to be who everybody thinks he's going to be. Man,
I think looking at the game, Justin Fields did have an opportunity to win. I believe it was a muff fumble. Muff snap.
Yep.
The muff snap kind of just ruined the whole drive where he had the opportunity to at least tie the game.
He's always had ball security issues. Yeah.
So that was just literally one play away from us having a different conversation to where he goes down, he makes a game-winning drive. Steelers are 4-0. Justin Fields look good. He throws for over 300 yards. He runs for over 50 yards. So you're leading rusher, your leading passer. I think he threw one last week, I believe. Did he not?
No, I meant today. Today. But yeah, he threw one last week. Yes.
Didn't throw an interception. So I think you look at this game in a positive light, seeing that, you were just a few a mistake away from possibly tying the game up. So I mean, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think this is still Justin Fields' job, honestly. I don't see him losing it.
I agree.
Yeah. I think if he loses next week, it's a wrap for him.
Who do they got next week?
think they're
They got the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys in the next game.
I understand what you're saying, G. I just don't believe that Russell Wilson is any better. I think he's finished. I really do. I think he's done.
Yeah. And I honestly think that Justin Fields can beat the Cowboys easily. They're gonna be without Micah Parsons and
true.
I looked at
DeMarcus
what
Lawrence.
Marcus Lawrence, yeah,
what
2 year pass rushes. That's right.
what he did
Cool.
in Denver, man. He was making all the plays in Denver. He was making all the right plays in Denver. That team was just trash last year. That wasn't. I don't think that was.
Russell Wilson, you're talking about?
Yeah, that wasn't him.
Okay.
That was him and Sean Payton. Like they bumped heads.
He
still got it, bro. He still got it.
I don't think so. It was, but that defense was solid, right? And I'm not saying he's a bum. I just don't think he's. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, next game. What we got?
Next game we have poor old Aaron Rodgers loses to who do we just talk about? The Broncos, Sean Payton and Bo Nix.
Yeah, I think the Broncos defense is better than people think. I really do.
Do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I could win a football game and I only threw the ball and had 60 yards of passing offense,
right?
Hey, that's my defense won that game, man.
That's right. Yes,
defense won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, you hold Aaron Rodgers to no touchdowns. You hold the running games and no touchdowns, barely. Nobody getting over 40 yards.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, and you hold them to 3 field goals the entirety of a football game. Your defense won that game. Yeah, your defense won that game. I mean,
absolutely.
Nothing to brag about, coming from Bo Nix. I mean, 12 for 25, only 60 yards, the 1 touchdown. That's horrible. That's actually pretty bad. But you got the dub, man. Your defense did their job. I didn't like the play calling from the end of the game. If you guys had the opportunity to watch the end of the game, it was real pass heavy when you didn't really need to pass. It was about 2 to 3 minutes left in the ball game, and everything's a pass. Like, okay, we have a run game. Let's try to run. Let's get a little bit closer. Let's make this 2nd and 10 now, 2nd and 6 or something like that to shorten up the field and make those quick throws that Aaron Rodgers likes to do. So I mean, if they go back and look at the tape of Aaron Rodgers, unless Aaron Rodgers is down by a touchdown, then you're going very, very pass heavy. But you guys are only down 1 point. You needed a field goal to win the game. Aaron Rodgers can easily get those. So, Rodgers learning what the Jets program is like, man.
Yeah.
losing simple games 10-9 to a quarterback who's only thrown the ball for 60 yards. So that's not a good,
terrible
stat to put on your resume.
No, that's a horrible stat to put on your resume. You're 100% right.
I mean, Brees Hall 10 carries, 4 yards, man.
Right?
What's up, Jim?
It was a field goal away from winning the game, correct?
Yeah, they could have got a safety and won the game.
Yeah, they couldn't get there to take the shot. So
they couldn't even get a first down.
Yeah.
Everything, like I said, everything was just pass heavy. It was tough throws that he was making. Like I said, if you'd have just schemed up something a little different with your run game, get Brees Hall out there in the open field, just something different. You've been trying the same thing all game. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers threw the ball 42 times. And, let's try something a little different. Let's catch Broncos on their heels because they know that we're trying to get – I mean, we need a field goal. That's all we need, a field goal to win this game. So, but it was awful. It was one of the most boringest games of the day.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
G, you got anything on that one?
Yeah, they one game behind being in first place in that division.
That's very true.
Yeah,
yeah.
All right.
All right. So another pick of mine. The Tampa Bucks, the rematch of last year's, what was that? The semifinals?
I think I picked Tampa in this game too, I think.
I'll look back at it. I believe
I think I
picked Tampa. But yeah, they go down and literally just hold Eagles to 0 yards from scrimmage for like a whole quarter and a half.
Yeah, they got up on them early. Baker touchdown maker. My guy Baker Mayfield had a great game today.
No, he did, man. He showed his tail. Trying to pull up my stats here. There we go.
347. 347.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. He has 30 for 47.
Right, for 347.
47. Yeah. That's fate right there.
2 touchdowns, no picks. Yeah, he played really well.
Only sacked twice. I mean, they were very decent on the run game, had over 100 yards of rushing offense. But the biggest thing was the defense, man. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts didn't really have a first down or over 10 yards to like somewhere and close to the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, I was
Third
about
quarter?
to say early third quarter. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a beating. Going into the second half, but then they were able to, I believe, at that point, kind of start getting something a little bit going. But Tampa Bay played. They played extremely well. They got out on them early and didn't allow them to get back into the game. So
No, very true, man. Jalen Hurts is turning into a turnover-prone machine. I don't know what is going on with him. Either it's a pick or it's a fumble, and it's every single game, right? Where it's like, okay, we got to take better care of the football if we expect them to be a dominant threat in the NFC. I mean, for the lack of teams there is, obviously there's teams that are heating up and they're gunning to beat you. I mean, a team that just put you out last year, the Tampa Bay Bucks, literally just held you to no offense. Now, granted, you're without AJ Brown, you're without Devontae Smith, so you're not using Dotson at all. Not sure why you even made that trade to even pick him up, but
interesting point.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of strange. You're turning over the ball at high volume, and putting your defense in a position to where they're getting scored on a lot. So, I think they definitely got to fix that real
Well,
quick.
he didn't throw any picks today, but it was the fumbles.
Yeah, but like I said, it's either a fumble or a pick every game.
That's true. Yeah,
every game. But G, what you got on that?
With that loss, I think it kind of really messed with everybody's bracket, right? We thought it was going to be Cowboys, Eagles in the NFC East, and now we have Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, and the Giants. And I mean, one more game, and then it's getting pretty bad, man. It's getting pretty bad over there in the NFC East. I thought by now teams would have their identity, but it looked like they don't, and so a lot of teams are still trying to piece it together. My rule of thumb is 8 games, but it's been an entertaining watch. Baker still be able to thrive in this league. Pretty much all I got.
Oh man, you're right, man. Baker, he's finally found a home.
Yeah,
and
I think that helps a whole lot.
He's putting on a show, and he has a coaching staff, a consistent coaching staff that trusts in him. He's able to sit into an offensive coordinator that's the same offense that was last year, so he has time to develop, learn it, understand it. I mean, I think he was built a bad hand, man. I mean, you go to Cleveland, and he was just trading offensive coordinators and coaches left and right. Then you get traded. You go to Carolina. That's a different coach, different offensive coordinator. You go to LA Rams. Great coach, great offensive coordinator, but it's still new to you. Next season, you're going again. So I mean, he was dealt a bad hand on his situation when it came to that perspective. But it's glad to see, man, he's finally in a situation to where they're taking advantage of his talents. He's taking advantage of the scheme. He's taking advantage of the coaching and the big time weapons that they got, man. So I'm happy to see him go out there and thrive, man. Pretty good, pretty solid. All right. We're going to move on. Okay, you got it?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, this is another one of my 5. I'm excited.
Okay, man. Hey, man, take it away, birthday boy. You got it? Well, it's not no more, but we're going to keep it going.
Oh, facts. But no, Bengals, Panthers. So 2 things here. Obviously, Bengals finally got off the slide, right? They win their first game of the year. Joe Burrow, solid game, not great. 22 of 31 for 232, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But they being Cincinnati, able to run the ball for 141 yards. So you always can have some success if you can do that. But they gave up, 155 rushing yards to Carolina. Andy Dalton throws for 220. The point I'm trying to make here, it's interesting to look. Everyone was talking about just how bad Carolina was, how they don't have anything. But really, it's just exposing the fact that Bryce Young was, I'm not going to say a bust yet, but it was not smart to take him at number 1 overall. And you guys weren't with me last year when I was talking about this, but I was like, there's no way you should do this. But, it's the SEC bias and the lazy scouting, right? When in doubt, just take the SEC guy. So
100% agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you look at this and you say, man, Bryce Young was just bad because Andy Dalton, granted, he's been in the league 10, 12 years now. He's been in the league a long time. He's an experienced quality veteran who's had some big wins and big games under his belt. But at the same time, this team is not as bereft of talent as we were kind of led to believe when Bryce Young was the QB. Bryce Young just isn't good. So the Bengals get their first win of the year. Nobody's saying they're going to go on a stretch, but exactly they no one's saying they're going to go on a run, but they needed it badly. Next up, okay, so they got Baltimore next week. Tough matchup. Division matchup. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Burrow plays well against Baltimore. I don't think they do. So definitely tough matchup. Excuse me. We haven't made our picks yet. Obviously, we're going to do that on Wednesday, but we'll see how it turns out. But they got the win, which was desperately needed, because if they didn't, it was pretty much over for the possibility of them making the playoffs this year.
He's 3-4 against the Ravens for his career.
Okay, there you go.
3-4.
Not terrible,
but not good either. So,
right.
I mean, and at this point, you're kind of worried about him. I mean, you just saw Baltimore just put a spanking on the Bills, and a hot Bills team who are 3-0, at home. So I believe this game will be in Cincinnati. Am I wrong? No, yeah. So this game will be in Cincinnati, but it's a 1 o'clock game, and you're battling against a very, very run-heavy team. Todd Monken, I hope he keeps his pedal to the metal when it comes to that offensive scheme, keeping it run heavy, sticking to the strength, and allowing everything to open up for Lamar Jackson, and he go out there and make big plays with his legs like we accustomed to him doing, because we just saw Hubbard, run for a whole buck on him. So if Hubbard can do it, you're like, hey, man, okay, Derrick Henry can do that. He can do that. Yeah. Lamar Jackson can do that. So let's definitely run the ball at him. So I mean, possibly 1-4 next week for the Bengals, man. But good to see him get a win against the Panthers. But good to see a win.
If you're the Bengals next week, you have to sell out against the run. It doesn't matter. Make them beat you through the air. You have to sell out against the run, plain and simple. Yeah. But anyway, thoughts on this Bengals Panthers?
I was gonna say, Joe Burrow looked like Andy Dalton, man. It was one and the same this game, and I
mean the numbers are pretty close,
pretty close stats wise. He didn't come out and destroy offensively. I mean, they won by 10 points, but at the same time, when I look at this game, I'm like, oh yeah, that's one on your calendar that you're supposed to win. If you coming from the AFC North team, right, you're supposed to win those. So it's good to see them get their first win. It's good to see them get their first win, but it's getting thick, man. It's getting thick. The AFC North getting thick, man. It's going to be come 4 weeks from now, it's definitely going to be thick out here, man. So I look forward to watching Joe Burrow continue to struggle. Today he didn't struggle today, but it's happening, right? Like, I know for a lot of people, he's like they're one of their top 5 players that's playing, quarterbacks that's playing in the league right now. There's a lot of people out there that believe that. I talk about at any given Sunday, right? Like any given Sunday, a team come out and punch you in the mouth. And so I remember going to the bank, watching the game, and Joe Burrow came out and destroyed us before the third quarter, right? And so I'm pretty sure Lamar took that personal. And so next week, I'm going to do a foot stomp for you, just in case, so you can get at least 6 wins on your belt. Don't do it again. We kicking you out next time.
Oh, Chad, if you haven't been paying attention, that 6 wins is for Bruce. Bruce went 5-14 thus far. We still have 2 games.
5-9, so it's 5 of 14.
5 of 14. What did I say?
Yeah, 5. You said 5 and 14. So
it's 5 out of 14. 5 out of 14. So 5-9, still a losing record. But
it is
in his pick. So we're gonna help him out next week, and at least try to get him to 6 wins next week. So
season games, okay, you can do that during the season. Playoffs, by all means, use that methodological whatever it is that you use during the season. That's your MVP quarterback that you betting against there, brother. I just want to let you know that.
Nobody goes 17-0, right? Despite the fact that you want to pick them every week, nobody goes 17-0. You understand that, right?
He has yet to do a full pick 'em, by the way.
Just saying. Okay. All right.
This is my year. I'm telling you, this is my year, bro. This is my year.
Okay. All right. Well, hope so.
I'm gonna start this week, and I'm probably gonna have more wins in 1 week than he week 5. I just giving him a head start, man. I try not to be too crazy, man. I try to give him a head start.
Gotcha, man. We're gonna give Bruce a hard time. We're gonna move on over to the next game. Jacksonville still 0 whatever. Texans go down there and get him another dub. With a game-winning drive by CJ Stroud.
And I'm gonna say it again.
Go ahead.
You gave Trevor Lawrence $250 million. I mean, anyway, moving right along.
I don't think it's harder than it anymore, man. I think after you get that bag.
Hey, he didn't play a terrible game. Okay, it wasn't terrible. Okay, it was 18 for 33. He got it 2 touchdowns, 169. But again, he does get paid $250 million. You expect a little bit better from your quarterback. You expect these type of numbers out of Trevor Lawrence. These numbers right here: 27 for 40, 345 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's what you expecting from a $250 million quarterback. However, that was CJ Stroud's numbers,
right?
Not Trevor Lawrence. So that's huge, man. I really think Dougie P may be getting fired this week. This may be his last week in that stadium. I think he made a comment saying, what are we talking about? Coaching changes and coaching's being fired. But I'm like, hey man, you're 1-9 in your last 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are reasons you're getting fired.
Yeah,
those are reasons right there. 0-4. You haven't won a game in the calendar year of 2024.
Yeah, it's been over 300 days since they won a game. It sucks,
terrible,
though, man. It sucks when you're. I mean, as a head coach, yes, you have to accept responsibility, but you're trying to coach, and this dude they're giving all this money to is not coming through for you. That's not all on the coach, man. But they have no choice. They gotta move on and get a different coach and try something new. But we'll see. And let's keep in mind, what is this? Trevor Lawrence is this his 4th year? Is his 4th year, right?
Fourth season.
Yeah, so they paid him a year early. But let's keep in mind, when they fired Dougie P, and they're going to, this is going to be his 3rd head coach, right?
Yep.
Okay, 3rd head coach. How many?
Urban Meyer year 1.
Yeah. How many is it going to take before they realize he's not the dude? You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. You got anything on that, G? I know it's not the AFC North, so
I don't.
Not much to say.
Yeah, CJ Stroud is the real deal. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, he is.
Now, CJ Stroud is that guy, man. See, I believe, shout out to Stephon Diggs. This is his first ever rushing touchdown that he's ever scored in a football game.
Very nice.
But you know what? I do have a positive light to say. Brian Thomas Jr. looking like that guy at LSU, man. I know he was outshined by neighbors a lot coming out of LSU, but he's been the one shining light that you can put a light on in the Jacksonville Stadium. So, proud to see him go out there, 6 catches, 86 yards, a touchdown. He got a bonehead penalty I didn't agree with. He was just signaling for a first down, but he did it in like the trigger format. I see tons of players do that all the time. All of a sudden, it's when he does it, they get flagged for it, and it was a very costly penalty because I don't think it pushed them back on that drive. So, but man, shout out Brian Thomas Jr., man. He out there doing his thing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on to the superstar right now. The superstar in the making.
Man.
Jaden Daniels is on.
Man.
Can I curse on here? I can curse, right? I can use one curse word. I can say one curse word, right?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah,
He's on fucking fire. Okay. The man's on fucking fire, dog. 82% completion percentage, the highest ever in a 4-game stretch with a minimum of 40 passing attempts.
Not just rookies.
Not just rookies. That's all players. All players. He shows out this game 26 for 30, 233 yards, a touchdown. He did have his first interception this week, but I mean, you guys curb stomp.
Yeah.
Good old Kyler Murray in the
breaks off
in the Cardinals, man. What's your takes on these guys?
Man, look, I'm thoroughly impressed. Like I didn't think Jaden Daniels was going to walk into the league and be this good. Maybe a big part of that is he did play 5 years in college, so a lot of experience, a lot of big game environments. He's older, more mature. He's got some understanding, but he's just playing well. He's playing well. He's got mobility.
I think well is an understatement.
Fair enough. He's playing extremely well. Does that work better?
There you go. It
Okay.
got to be a big word in front of the well. Then okay,
Yes, he's
you got
playing
it.
extremely well.
Yeah,
He's got mobility. He also knows when to get down. He doesn't take a lot of risks. It's not dangerous. The guy's really, really good, man. He's really, really good. So gotta give it due his love, man.
As a rookie, he's third. I mean, he's first in interceptions thrown, which is his first one today, right?
Right.
He's fourth in QBR, 73.4.
Right.
He only has 3 passing touchdowns, but let's not forget the touchdowns that he does with his legs.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is he's just playing outstanding football, man.
He is. And he's got to hit the wall at some point, but no, he's playing extremely well.
So, I mean, yeah, you expect the completion percentage to come down. 82.1 is nuts. Right.
Yeah, nobody's going to do that through an entire season. Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, but the way they scheme things up for him, the way they're drawing up that offense, the way he's making it a threat with his legs to make those easier type of passes, man. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't drop anything below 74, 75 this year. I mean, just the way he's playing, like it's amazing. It truly is amazing on how this kid's playing, man. It truly is. G, what you got on that?
I think he's playing well, but I think when I look at a lot of my buddies or my bros that's Commanders fans, one thing they'll say is refreshing to have an owner that likes to win and cares about the sport and the team, right? I think for so long, the Commanders was some of the most loyal fans out. They sold out for 20 years straight at a time, and so it's almost impossible to get PSL tickets for Commanders. At the time, it was the Redskins, and so just to see them get a splash of wins, see them light up. I mean, I think the last time I seen them this happy was when they had RG3, and now they got like RG3 4.0, whatever. So, kid got the stuff. He can make all the throws. Pretty good on his feet. I know it's just entertaining to watch. In a very popular NFC East, these guys standing on top when we thought
on top, man.
Definitely would be,
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
I had them coming in third, and so it's still early.
But
it's still early, but it's gonna be interesting and fun to watch this guy, man.
I do got a quick question, man. RG3 4.0, well, who the hell was 2 and 3?
That's right. A real crazy question. I get it.
Damn, RG3
4.0. You've been analytical. I get it. You've been analytical. 2 and 3. I got you, man. You've been analytical. I got you. Yeah. Well, RG4. How about that? Got you. Boom. Back at you. So RG4 for that matter.
RG4, man.
Yeah. Without the Subway commercials, right? Like I think he played the DMV with Subway commercials, man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Was it a sub that they caught that photo of him eating? Or what was it? Or was
that was a croissant.
The croissant. Yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy.
It was a croissant. Yeah.
So RG3 without the croissant. Got it.
Yeah. 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 He might
man.
A little bit better. I mean, stat wise, he might be a little better right now. Just from the first 4 games. Right? 4 games, yeah.
Yeah, and I think and like I said earlier, you make it a lot easier on your quarterback when your run game is just killing it, right? Brian Robinson.
When the last time we seen the Redskins dismantle or destroy a team like this, man? It had to be Commanders. Okay.
Yeah, we trying to keep the channel, brother.
I mean, you got red potato skins too, right? Like you got.
Let's not be political.
You know what I mean? Like whatever, man. All right, I got you. So the Commanders, before they were the Commanders, they were called something else, right? And I don't think we've seen them win since they were called something else. Man, back when RG3 and Kirk Cousins was actually really doing it.
That's a good question. What was the last big dub like this? Like a 30-point blowout down there.
Probably didn't matter.
Tyler, where you at? Man, that's my stat guru right there, man. He holds it down for you.
Yeah, so the Washingtonians are extremely happy, man, and up proud.
Washington Elizabeth Warren.
I gotta duck my god sister. She is a diehard freaking Commanders fan. Washington football team, whatever you want to call it. She's diehard. I got to duck her. At least
Why?
till the Ravens.
Well,
You know, because
doing good.
right now they're winning more games than the Ravens. So once we go ahead and catch back up,
Oh,
then
yeah,
I'll call
that's a
her.
little tough. That's a little bit tough of a
Yeah,
conversation. You don't
yeah,
want to have those type of
yeah.
conversations.
I've been talking smack to her for years. So, but, you know, it's all good. All right. Next up, Patriots 49ers. Not much to talk about. Pretty much what we expected. We expected the Patriots to get curb stomped by the 49ers, and they did. 49ers got right again. So they're now 2-2. Brock Purdy, another good game. A little lower on the completion percentage and threw a pick, but 288 through the air. And you know what? Some of these games, I'm really loving the play calling balance, and this is obviously the way Mike Shanahan, what's his name? What Shanahan is that? Kyle Shanahan, thank you,
Yeah.
Kyle. This is the way Kyle Shanahan would want it. And probably Mike too, 32 rushes and 27 passes. They like that ratio.
Yep.
And so, nice ratio, easy 30-13 win. Patriots just aren't good. And I don't know. I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel for those guys.
No, not at all. I mean, they're gunning for the number one pick, trying to see if they can get a quarterback or something
Again?
the next season or two.
Well, they got Drake though, right?
Yeah, and they drafted him. High first round pick. So,
but do you?
Drake May? Yeah.
Do you believe? You know what I mean?
But he needs time though. He needs time, and they got to get weapons. So,
no, that's true. That's true.
I think if since they have their quarterback, I think if they get the number one pick, they'll probably trade it and
get a boatload of picks. Definitely be smarter. But like you said, man, it's the Patriots. You don't expect nothing out of them this year.
No.
And the 49ers defensively did what they want. Fred Warner with a pick six. Nick Bosa strip fumble, strip sack. Run game dominant 123 from Jordan Mason. That's funny. Jordan 123. Get it? No? Okay, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, I get
it. But and Brock Purdy's just spreading the ball around. I mean, this game he didn't have to focal on one person. I think George Kittle ended up leaving the game. Did he not? Did he end up leaving the game?
That I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Okay. But he's spreading the ball around. Juwan Jennings, 3 catches. Deebo Samuel, 3 catches. Ayuk, 2 catches. George Kittle, 4 catches. Jordan Mason, 2 catches. I think when you're spreading the ball around like that, you're going to have that similar to Josh Allen over the last 3 weeks before the night kind of scenario. You don't know where he's going with the football because you got 4 beasts at receiver. Juwan Jennings is a good number 2. Deebo is a number 1. Brandon Ayuk can be a number 1 on other teams. George Kittle, one hell of a tight end 1. So, you spread the ball around like that. You got a Jordan Mason who could run the football. You got a Christian McCaffrey that's going to be coming back here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I believe week 8 is the trajectory. There you go.
What do we say? What do we say?
When he could possibly come back in week 8.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly come back and start practicing in week 8. So
right.
But yeah, man. They did what they supposed to do against the Patriots, man. 1-3. You don't expect nothing out of them. You expected the San Fran go in there and take care of business, especially after the loss last week against against
exactly.
the Rams. The nail biter.
Right.
All right. We're gonna go over
to talk about.
to talk about on this next
Browns
one.
and Raiders.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something else. But yeah. Raiders get it done. 20-16.
I look at the 49ers and the Patriots. I immediately think that that's a game that the 49ers should have won. But again, when it comes to this NFL's any given Sunday, I think that one win that the Patriots had at the beginning of the season, I thought they was on to something. I thought they was well coached. And they played, but anytime you're going against the 49ers, they got firepower. They shouldn't be 2-2 right now. If there's any team that shouldn't be 2-2, they are definitely one of those teams. And so I was I kind of knew they was going to win. Brock Purdy didn't really 288, 15 for 27, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. And it looked like they was just running the ball. They just run until CMC come in. So Brandon Ayuk, I'm kind of disappointed in him this season. I think one of the reasons that he's that they 2-2 probably could possibly be that all that drama before the season of him getting paid, and then him going on to get paid later on. I think that kind of disrupted chemistry. But hey, man, like you said, it was the Patriots.
Yeah,
they got a lot to work on.
A lot.
My bad, y'all almost skipped me, man. Y'all almost skipped me. Y'all almost skipped me.
It was such a bad game, bro. It was such a bad game.
I got you.
I felt like you wouldn't even have anything to say about it. You know, it's not the AFC North. You know, it's the Patriots. I figured you would be like, man, just please pass me.
I see how it is, man. Look, I see how it is, man. I see how it is. It's cool.
My bad, G. My bad. Are you good? You done?
Yeah, I'm straight, bro. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move on over to the next game. Browns travel to the Raiders, and the Raiders kick them out 20-16. It was one of those type of lazy games. Wasn't nothing really scoff at. Both defenses were playing legit, and you know the offense is just what they are. I really honestly got even though I was watching this game, I honestly got nothing for this game, commentary wise. I mean,
you're doing a good job, bro. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, bro.
Every time
for this game, man.
Every time I see the way the Browns look, all I keep thinking is, man, they paid Deshaun Watson all his damn money.
Yeah,
and dude, just sorry, but
yeah, it doesn't look good, man. 32 attempts, 176 yards, a touchdown, an interception. I mean, granted, that defensive line was getting at him. A defensive line that didn't even have Max Crosby.
Right.
You know, their guys stepped up. You know, man down, and everybody else stepped up, sacked him 3 times, including the game sealing sack at the end of the game. So, man, I mean, the Raiders ran the football particularly well. I mean, I'm looking at those numbers here. I'm not going to scoff at those. 29 carries, 152, 2 touchdowns.
Hey,
you know, they kept the ball out of Minshew's hands. So
exactly, that's good right there.
You know, especially with no Devontae Adams. So I thought with no Devontae Adams that it was going to be a little bit rougher for the Raiders, but obviously, the Browns couldn't stop the run game. So, you know, that pretty much ended the game right there. But
there you go.
You know, both bad teams. I mean, Raiders are 2-2, so they got something to celebrate. Browns 1-3, AFC North team. You got anything about that, G?
Oh, I absolutely do. We won't get excited or thrown in frenzy when the Browns suit up and look like the Browns on Sundays. Nothing's changed. I mean, the only thing that changed is they gave a guy a bag to do what he's doing. But one of those things that I did see is Myles Garrett with 3 tackles was surprising to me. He's a top tier defensive player. And
he had 2 sacks.
He had 2 sacks, though. Yeah, he had 2 sacks.
That's okay.
All right.
And he is battling injury too.
2 sacks, 3 tackles, and they running all over top. Gotcha. All right, cool.
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You gotta be able to disrupt that run as well. So
but he's an edge rusher. Like, how many elite edge rushers were also elite run stoppers? That's not really their job. So,
really, I thought when you suit up to play football, like you get tackles, bro. Like I thought that was how we play the game of football. Like,
for a D tackle, you're the run stopper.
Yeah.
Defensive end, you're sealing the edges and you're going after the quarterback.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys know more about football than me, I guess.
Just saying, that's 2 different responsibilities.
You know more about football than me, I guess. There it is. I said it. There it is. Now you have it, bro. You know more about football. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by my co-host and the host, 16-20. You know, I expect the Browns and the Raiders to look like the way they look. I was actually surprised in the Raiders this year. I think at 2-2, I still think they're in a position where, you know, at any time they can come alive. It's just, you know, they do have the defensive pieces there to be competitive the rest of the season. And they still win. Damn, bro, what's wrong? You all right? Birthday guy? You tired?
Yeah.
You look angry. This your idea. This is your idea.
It's transforming, man.
Like his face, you know, it's like
no. I'm actually on the next game, just looking at the box.
All right, man. Well, we'll go ahead and keep it moving. We're gonna get the birthday boy some good shut eye. We're gonna go to the final game. We never did talk about the Cowboys and Giants game, did we not?
I thought we did. Did
No,
we
we
not?
didn't. I don't think we did because that was a
Okay.
Thursday night game. All right, let's
Yeah.
move
Okay,
to that one real quick, and then we'll cap
Absolutely.
it off with Kansas City to finish everything off.
Yes, sir.
Cowboys 20-15. They go to New York. To me, it was just a real heavy field goal type of game for the Giants.
Yeah.
5 field goals. Dak Prescott 22 for 27.
Mhm.
221, nothing crazy. He didn't really
Solid
have to win the game
yeah.
with his arm, but they shut the Giants out in the second half, and holding them to 2 field goals and just literally just staying on top of the game. So not much about that. One of those interdivisional games. So what do you guys think?
No, I was gonna say yes. It's key to win divisional games wherever you can. But to me, it says a lot that the Cowboys struggled so much with the Giants, who are not a good football team. You know,
that was a shocker.
And I think that's just something we need to pay attention to and take heed to. Daniel Jones was 29 for 40 for 281 in that game. He did have no touchdowns and a pick, so that kind of negates some of those statistical accumulation. But still, overall, not a terrible game from Daniel Jones. And again, it just goes to show, like, the Cowboys are not good, man. They should not. Now, don't get me wrong. What do you call it? Divisional games, because you know them so well, they're tougher.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have struggled like this with the Giants. That's kind of my thought on it.
What you got, G?
2 NFC East games. They build each other. They build their teams around to beat each other. That's kind of how it works. That's why you'll see a lot of AFC North and other division. Anytime you have your interconference teams playing each other, they struggle with each other. It's a different game. It's like we saw today with Green Bay and Minnesota, right? If that was another team, I think Minnesota or Green Bay would have curb stomp. But we're starting to see Minnesota's built for Green Bay, and Green Bay is built for Minnesota. That's why 28-0 lead turns into, I forget what the end.
31-29.
31.
It turned out to be close.
Great point.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I believe. Looking at this game, as I recall from the Thursday night game, Daniel Jones needs to be able to hit his targets downfield. It was a lot of throws where he was just underthrowing the ball, like he didn't have enough muscle on the football with wide open guys, sprinting 40, 50 yarders. I think that would have definitely made the game a little bit more exciting, in my opinion. But on top of that, the Cowboys' biggest flaw coming into this game was their run defense, and they did a good job on stopping the run. I mean, you hold a team to 24 attempts with 26 yards, that's doing one hell of a job from a defensive standpoint in the run game. You did lose a couple of players, like we mentioned earlier. Micah Parsons went down later on in the game, I believe the fourth quarter. DeMarcus Lawrence went down in the third quarter with some injuries that could have him sidelined for the next couple of weeks. And as we know, that was their bread and butter on the defensive side of the ball. So you lose 2 edge rushers of that nature. I mean, from here on out, you're going to be looking like you're in trouble. It looks like you're going to be in trouble, especially with your schedule you got coming up. So it's good that you guys got the win. You don't have a run game, and now you don't have a defensive line. So, best of luck going forward with the rest of your team. So, other than that, you guys got anything else to add on that?
No.
All right, we're going to get on over to the finale. Mahomes is still undefeated.
Oh, man. Those guys know how to win. And Spags. Can we talk enough about Steve Spagnuolo? Can we?
I don't think we can.
I don't think so either, because we're looking at the Chiefs, man, and they're not the Chiefs we expect, even with some additions in terms of downfield speed. They're not the explosive playmaking Chiefs we expected, but they are really, really good defensively. Spags calls a great game every week, and man, they know how to win when it gets time for the rubber to meet the road. They know what to do. And you look at this game, the Chargers played them tough. We know what Jim Harbaugh's DNA is. We know what he wants to do. But no Rashawn Slater, no Joe Alt. That hurt in the running game. They continued to get those attempts. The Chargers carried the ball 24 times for 55 yards. That's not going to get it done. With no Aaron Donald in the NFL, Chris Jones is a freaking game wrecker.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
is the best defensive tackle in football. That dude always manages to make the big play. And we saw it again on the Chargers' final possession of the game. And so, man, these guys are good. These guys are good. And as it stands right now, man, it's going to be tough for anybody to beat them.
I know. I'm gonna give you, before I let G go real quick, I have a fun stat.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is down 10 points. The exact number of 10 points in a football game. He is now 12-0.
Jesus Christ.
So the commentator said, because the Chargers went up 10-0 very quickly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then the commentator said, that's not a good number to have on Patrick Mahomes. And as you see, the rest of the game, the Chargers got shut out through the last three quarters, and Patrick Mahomes won the football game to go 12-0. But G, take it away, brother.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. I look at the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh there, and Justin Herbert, who hasn't really done too much in the league. He can make all the throws, as you can see, but I look at that running game with J.K. and Blunt and J.K. and Gus, and I just felt like they didn't show up. I think they had combined for almost under 60 yards, and 20 carries and stuff. So I look at what Pat was able to do. He pretty much spread the ball around. Not too bad of a running game. I think they finished with almost 100 yards.
101 to be exact.
Yep, 101. But if you look at like how well he was able to pass, to spread the ball around, he almost hit all his receivers today. Defense was a really big, I guess, deciding point. But if I'm the Chargers, I still feel good because you still got to play them one more time. And, now you got a better idea of what you're going up against. I like the whole Jim Harbaugh.
And hopefully you have your tackles when you play him again too. So
yeah. And I mean, Herbert was hurt last week. He got hurt last week, and so he didn't finish the game. So we really don't know what type of condition he's in. But as you guys said, the Chiefs been doing a really good job. 4-0 is big, but it's not 8-0, right? I think a lot of teams still don't have any identity. Look at Andy Reid. This guy's always got the stuff, always got the right staff, and his tenure, it echoes across the league. And if you're a coach, I mean, if I look at, Jim and Andy, I think, these guys are going to definitely be sure their teams are prepared. It should have been a lot worse than it was for the Chargers. I mean, the win by 7 points is, and you're the Chiefs. I don't know, kind of meh, But I mean, it's one of those conference games.
That's the Kansas City regular season way of football, right? I mean, we're long gone from the Tyreek Hill over the top big splash. Like we're gonna cook you guys, and Patrick Mahomes is throwing for 400 yards. Yeah. They just win, man. I mean, they find any way to win football games, and I mean, every win they had this year is ugly. It's nothing like it wasn't sexy, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't a blowout.
You think they care?
They don't.
They don't care.
Just think about it. They just don't, man. They don't.
You think it's going to be sustainable?
Yeah.
They've shown
it. Winning with defense.
Yes. I got one yes. That's 2 yes. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the thing
Nobody's
about
saying
they're playing the same. They're playing the same way they did last year, right? Every win was an ugly win. They had some ugly losses, right? But when the lights shine the brightest, them boys show up. We have 2 years straight of evidence. Them boys just show up. The defense shows Spags calls one hell of a defense in the fourth quarter. Chris Jones all of a sudden becomes Aaron Donald 4.0, Aaron Donald 2.0, and Patrick Mahomes. You just can't seem to stop him if it's a game-winning drive. It's the same thing,
right?
Same story, different.
Third down, he's going to get that third down. Absolutely,
It's just amazing on how these guys just continue winning like this, man. I mean, 4-0.
Biggest takeaway. Oh, go. I'm sorry.
No, I was like 4-0 may not be 8-0, but it's a great start. And especially when it doesn't even seem like your offensive's clicking yet. You just now got Travis Kelce. This is Travis Kelce's biggest game this far. You did lose Rashid Rice. I believe he's going to be out for the season with a ACL injury. I think it was torn from the interception that Mahomes threw earlier. And I think Mahomes is actually the one that ran into him. and hyperextended the knee, but I think they're labeling it an ACL injury. But now you're down Hollywood Brown, you're down Rashid Rice. So at this point, I looked at the odds the other day. Let me tell you guys these odds real quick. I think I sent them to you the other day as well. Devontae Adams trade odds 1-3 for the New York Jets, and 4-1 is the second best odds to get Devontae Adams in a trade right now. Do you
who
think
is it? By the way, you're smiling. Who is that?
Kansas City.
Oh God.
Kansas City is the second best odds to now trade for Devontae Adams. And with the loss of Rashid Rice, I think those odds are going to drastically increase, because don't you think that front office is looking at, okay, now we're down Hollywood Brown. He might be out for the season. Man. Now we can go and get a Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
you pair him along with Travis Kelce. You got our rookie and Xavier Worthy. Sky Moore, nothing really. He made a lot of dumb drops today, but with that type of lineup, you're gonna need another go-to receiver. And I think they're already looking at the market to see who that trade.
Who do you give up? Who do you give up if you KC?
They're gonna find a way.
Yeah, now you make it work.
Kansas City gonna find a way. I was still trying to figure out during the offseason how they kept having money to get these players and re-sign them.
Yeah, honestly, I'm more
away, man.
I'm more impressed, honestly, with Kansas City and the way the defense is playing. And again, when you are a winner and you've won multiple times, you start believing that we can win any game, no matter the situation. Yeah. And especially you got number 15 back there, and then you just, when you win on that level, you start learning how to win. And you just know in certain situations and certain things that has to happen, you learn how to win, and they know how to win, and that they are special. They're going to be all right. Am I saying they're 17-0 and winning the chip guaranteed? No, but they are going to be a very tough out. And again, Spags, to me, he can't get enough credit for what he's done for this football team.
Yeah, I think for Pat, it's very. I mean, for the Chiefs, it's very simple. Win the games you're supposed to win, right? Get first place in the division. Get home field advantage.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Other than that, just do that. That's all we need. Because if you got to travel to Arrowhead, every other team in the conference is scared now. They got.
But here goes the thing, though. They now know also we can go on the road and do it too, because they won at Buffalo on the road in the playoffs last year. They won at Baltimore on the road in the playoffs last year, and of course they followed up with the Super Bowl. So now there's even less concern. Obviously, you want to be able to stay home and have the home field, but now they know if they got to go on the road, they can do that too. Like, so having that mindset and knowing, man, that's just a different ball game, I think. But I mean, again, that's just me. But there's so many factors at play here. They know how to win. They've got the guy under center. They've got the coach. They're experienced, and the defense is now lights out. So there's a lot of things going on there, man. This team is going to be a very tough out. Yeah.
Mahomes has thrown 53 picks overturned by penalty. Next closest is Allen with 7. They give him the Tom Brady treatment times 10, playing with different sets of rules. You're gonna always get that type of treatment when you're winning.
Exactly.
You're gonna see it that way when you're winning. If you go and look at a regular football, like just any other football game, right? You're gonna see a lot of missed calls. You're gonna see a lot of missed calls, particularly in the fourth quarter. It's only now that Mahomes is the most watched person, and people now want to see him lose. Now, I mean, not only do you got his fans who want to see him win, you want to see a great game, but you're gonna have now fans who want to see him lose. So guess what?
Right.
You're gonna micromanage. I mean, just under a microscope, every little detail. Oh, this was a missed call. They didn't call this, or they didn't call that. When just also the game prior, they had 5 missed calls in the fourth quarter, but you didn't even recognize it.
But also, we got to look at when it comes down to those final drives, and it's third, and gotta have a freaking first down. He's gonna convert that. He just will, And again, I keep saying it. I keep going back to it. Now he's got the benefit of having an elite defense too. I mean that.
Trent McDuffie, Spags, man. Spags can pick him. He can train him.
The defense has nothing to do with that, though, Tyler. The defense is the defense. The defense is balling out. So, I mean, look, you can see it. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see when it gets down to it. But at the end of the day, I think Transformer's right. Whenever you have a team that's winning a lot, all of a sudden these type of stats come out. So it's going to be what it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
And the only way to put those kind of stats to bed, somebody's gonna have to beat them. So it is what it is.
And I always say I go back and look at the actual plays, right? It's not
Mhm.
like the plays are just extremely egregious to where like, okay, that should have been a call, right? I look at the play and I'm like, well, that was clear holding. I mean, this was pass interference or whatever the case may be. And then there's going to be some players where you're like, okay, well, this was missed or something like that. But then I think Shannon Sharp says this a lot. The calls in the fourth quarter are going to always be magnified, right? Because there are missed calls in the first quarter that you're not caring about. Second quarter, you're not caring about. Third quarter. It's when the fourth quarter, okay, now Pat Mahomes gets that benefit of the doubt. Now it's refs, man. So I think, once again, that's just that treatment of just being a winner. You know, you're the winner now. People are now expect, like, when are you going to lose? You know what I mean? When is the champ going to get dethroned? You're 2-0.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you're 2 Super Bowls in, and you're gunning for that third one. Now the talk is all they're walking them to the third Super Bowl. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, he still got to go
I mean,
out there.
I don't see how you can walk a team when they shut
Right.
out the Chargers 0 points in the second, third, and fourth quarter after going up 10-0. Refs don't do that. That's called a defense. So,
right.
You know.
Hey, Tyler, where'd you get that stat from, man? I just looked it up, and the number I came up with was 17 since the year 2018. Patrick Mahomes holds the record for most interceptions overturned due to defensive penalties in the NFL, with 17 interceptions overturned since 2018. Where'd you get that stat from?
They should be 2-2 without the ref. They'd be 2-2.
I could be.
There's a book of rules.
Be a millionaire, right?
There's a book of rules, and this is something you guys is missing. There's a book of rules, and it don't matter if you win 300 games or no games. The ref's supposed to call that shit because that's integrity. And if they fail to call it because you are a winning team, that's failure to have integrity. It shouldn't have nothing to do with.
But that's every game, though. What do I got to do with Patrick Mahomes? That's every game.
I'm just saying. The only thing that I'm saying is that they should be better at their job and have integrity. If you see something, you're supposed to throw the flag and not hold it in your pocket or like, oh shit, what'll happen if I throw this flag? I mean, I'm sure that as fans, we all can consolidate a list of plays that should have been called. Like, oh yeah, that's pass interference. They go and what they say that they'll go to the league, right, and say, hey, look, this should be pass interference and this should be this. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. That should have been pass interference, but you still lost. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, on one hand, I can understand what you're saying. Like, oh, yeah, they're not going to call that. On the other hand is if I can go file a grievance, right, then it should be some kind of way where these refs are held accountable. That's the only thing I'm saying. I don't care about them being 4-0 because it's still early in the season. I don't think they're going to be. Huh?
They're held accountable. Yeah, because when they evaluate them, they get evaluated on a point system. And they can get fired, they can get suspended, and I guess the best referees, as evaluated by the point system, those are the guys that referee the most important games, and so on and so forth. They're held accountable. They are.
Okay,
maybe not necessarily the way you want them to be, but they are.
Well, no, I had nothing to do with this. I'm talking about this from a fan perspective, right? Like, not even they beat my team. All right, cool. I don't think they had the personnel to do what they did last year. And I mean, we
thought that last year too.
It's a different team this year, though. It's a different team this year.
We said that last year. That's what I'm saying. This is just a repeat of what we said before.
This is what I'm saying. They don't have the same team that they had last year. You can look at the personnel. It's like, oh man, when it's your team that they throwing these flags against, you're not gonna be smiling, bro. You're gonna be like, oh, this is some bullshit. Especially when fourth quarter come and then you see like 13 flags get thrown every other play. You like, oh, this is crazy. That's all I'm gonna say about it, man. Like I think the league has a problem that a lot of people they won't talk about. They won't talk about.
But
up until I think this game, my team was leading the league in like penalties. Leading the league in penalties, and so he is the face of the league, right? So he's going to get the LeBron James treatment, right? It is what it is, right? He get the same thing, the same treatment that LeBron James get, right? You touch him, they're gonna throw a flag. You don't think so, Bruce?
That's every quarterback, though. That's the NFL
quarterback, bro. That's not every quarterback, bro. That's not every quarterback.
Oh, because it's not Lamar.
I'm not saying it's not Lamar. And Lamar, I didn't even speak on Lamar's name. I ain't speaking on Jordan
because I mean,
Love, man.
because when you make the conversation like those type of calls or something like that, I look at multiple games a day,
Okay,
right?
all
And
right.
I'm looking
Let me
at
give you.
the same treatment in these different games. So everybody's saying, "Oh, Mahomes is being carried by the refs." Obviously, you guys don't
I'm
watch
not.
enough
No, no,
football
no,
or
no, no,
other
no,
teams
no.
that play because these type of
Let
missed calls happen every game,
let's
every
get it.
game.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me uh, break this down for you so you understand where I'm coming from. It's not a Mahomes thing all the time. On defense, it's a Chiefs thing, right? Clear pushing the back, ball in the air, the ball hit the turf, no flag. Oh, game over, right? In the clutch, these clutch plays, these momentum breakers that they throw these flags on. It's just not like, oh yeah, we just the constant flow of the game. I'm not saying I don't want it. I don't want it to seem like I'm targeting the Chiefs, bro. Only thing I'm saying is they have a certain list of flags that they throw against the Chiefs, and they got a certain list of flags that they throw against everybody else. That's all. And and this is how I am. I would respect them more if they played the game the way it should be played. You call it both ways. That's me. Like I don't care if you win in 100 games or you losing 100 games. Call the game the way it's supposed to be played. Don't let Vegas influence you one way or another, or man, whatever edible arrangements you getting sent to you. Call it 100. Call it both ways, bro. I mean, some of these calls, these missed calls, I'm gonna call them missed calls, be so bad, bro. It's like how are they even ref? But I'll tell you what I'll do, right? I'll compile a playlist for you guys, and I want you guys to go and say, oh yeah, was this a missed call? Was this a bad call? Was this what was this? Right? Like, oh yeah, clear pushing it back. Oh
But
no
I
call.
think you can do that with every game, though, G. That's what I'm saying.
Can we? Can we?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I,
It's
I
not.
think
It's not until you're looking at the winner or the constant winner where it's like I said, it's marginalized a lot bigger. It's more gravity to the call, right? Like I'm looking at my against the Green Bay today. I'm like, come on, man, we calling that type of BS. I mean, you're gonna be upset, right? You're gonna have your upset type of calls, but then again, I also put yourself in a referee's perspective, right? You're not gonna make every call. Do you
okay.
guys realize how fast the game is in real life versus us as the viewer looking overhead and can see the entirety of the field? It's a whole lot different, bro. It's a whole lot different.
I don't
Now,
think it's
if
a
the ref
anomaly.
is right here and there's a clear face mask and he's
I
not
don't
throwing the
think it's an
call,
anomaly. I don't think it's a one-off, bro. Like,
because
and
it's
this is
been that
my
way,
this is
bro.
listen. This is how I feel. The way y'all feel is the way y'all feel. The way I feel is I don't think it's an anomaly. I think this shit is spot on, bro. Like, you see it time and time again. He's like, oh yeah, you amplifying it, G, because they winning. I'm like, nah, bro. Like they getting bailed out in some of these games, but I just don't think they got the. And I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna close it out, or we
Yeah.
open the lines and let somebody else call in. But the thing that I'll say is like I think we don't have the power to fix the problem that's going on in the league.
Oh no,
Somebody don't want it to happen,
we
right?
sure
It's
don't.
easy, just like they, when we had an issue with the challenge flag, there was no challenge flag at first, if I'm not correct, right? That was
What
a
do you
couple
mean?
years, maybe like we couldn't challenge, right? There was no challenge at first. You couldn't throw a flag and challenge the refs and say if this was right or wrong. That was something that just
That's been
happened.
there for
And,
like 2 decades, right? It's been a
No,
thing for a
well,
while.
no. Challenge
The
flag
challenge
ain't.
for it?
Nah,
no,
nah.
and so there's ways that you can implement things and say, hey, listen, if this was that. But I think when it comes to the game, we going back to the NBA when at the 2 minutes they wouldn't call fouls, right? Two minutes in the game they're not calling fouls. So if you go to the rack, last minute, last possession, the rules get turned off. All right, say that then, right? Like make that clear so that you're not having people thinking that you calling it both ways the whole game, and then you just leaning towards one team. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents, bro. Like it's fixable, right? But it may take a lot more than just me being on this podcast saying, "Oh yeah, that shit red." You know, man, that shit,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't right. And then people looking at me differently. But that's my
I
two
got you.
cents. I don't really have much on it. I think it's completely fixable. Right? I think it's fixable.
My
All
man.
right. Well, there we go. We'll leave it right there.
All right. Those are all the games. Again, Bruce was 5 out of 14. for the
Yes,
weekend.
yes, I was 5 out of 4. That's correct.
You know, I'm gonna keep bringing that up right there. But go
So
ahead.
that's all good, man. Yeah, listen, when you're a man, you're gonna be wrong sometimes. You got to admit that. Move on.
Yeah.
You know? It's not a problem.
But all right, we're gonna open up the phone lines or no?
What y'all think?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's
I think people waiting to talk.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll take
We'll open up for like 2
we'll
minutes.
take a couple. Yeah, we'll take a couple. So I will excuse me, put it in the chat. 8264. And it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. We'll take 2 calls before we get out of here. So yeah, let's do it. You know the number 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Let's get it.
904 219
Man, what's the matter with you, man?
64.
Crazy. By the way, that damn Alabama, Georgia last night, holy freaking cow.
Boy.
Incredible.
Man, look.
Incredible.
If some people saying, hey man, the fix is in, bro. Bama was beating them too bad. They decided to let them go.
That
Okay, man. No.
17-year-old kid.
Calm down a little bit. Let them folks walk it back a little bit. And then after that, just kill him at the end. And I think that's how it ended.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take this call. Tyler, what's up, man?
What's going on, Bruce? Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Man, Bama, Georgia.
Oof.
That might go down as one of the classic.
Yes, sir.
When you're trying to get somebody to like football,
Yeah.
show them that game. They'll fall in love. And
That's big facts.
There's no better game to show them. Maybe Bama, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Pulled it off. That was crazy.
Or maybe that kick 6 game. I don't know. But
Kick 6, yeah, Auburn.
Yeah.
Bama, Auburn.
Seems like Bama's always in these games, huh?
Or that Bama Notre Dame game, the championship. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
Y'all can continue.
Yo, what's the matter with you, man? What's the matter with you?
Bring it up, man.
Man.
Hey, I don't want to talk too much about anything negative. We got spoiled with a great week of football this week.
Yes, I agree.
College football and a handful of these NFL games were really, really good. Had some duds, but you know, we're looking forward to a lot of really good football to come. You know, divisional matchups are getting started. You know, Ravens and Bengals next week. The Ravens are gonna do what they need to do. Get back in their winning ways. You know, 2 weeks in a row now, but this was the first time I think we've seen a complete game from the Ravens.
Yeah.
Front to back,
Oh yeah.
all phases of the game. We gave Tucker a game off, which I think is good for his mental. Because I think he's thinking he's watched more than the Ravens fans, and we're pretty critical. But,
I think so too.
You know, great week of ball. Looking forward to doing it again next week. My wife's gonna have baby number 3 probably tomorrow or the next day. So
Hey, congrats.
Hey, congratulations.
hey, we'll be back by Sunday. I can guarantee you that.
Back in time for the game. That's good, man.
But that's all I got, boys. Thank you for taking your time to stay up late. I know everybody's tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't know, man. These 2
okay.
cats are vampires or something, man. I'm dragging, but these 2, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't hang. I can't hang. But go Ravens and
Yes.
enjoy y'all's week.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, Tyler. Appreciate you.
Hey, bro, congratulations, bro.
Baby number 3.
Yeah, that's love right there.
Hey, welcome to the party. I got 3 of them things of my own, man. 4 if you include the
You
dog.
say you're going for 5.
That's what he
He
said?
said 5. Yeah. He said he going for 5.
He said not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
Listen, man, I got my son. I'm golden now. I mean, anything happen, whatever, but I got my son. I'm good.
Hey,
1 each. I'm chilling.
once that number starts piling up, it's like, you know what, man, it's time for me to bring it to calm it down a little bit.
I feel that. All right, is that it? No other calls on the topic?
Nah, man, we need to let the birthday boy get some well-needed shut-eye.
Yes,
Like
yes.
the great Jim Carrey say, some well-deserved
Shut
shut-eye.
on here acting like this. Why you acting like this?
Oh, what you talking about?
Why you acting like this? Acting like he's 60. He said, oh, I need I need
He
some
over there,
rest.
yeah, man. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, man.
Y'all
Man,
want to open up the phone line?
Man, you know me almost 20 years now, man. You know I am not a night person. You know that.
Like,
Man, sure.
yo, I didn't even know you could sleep
Hey,
like that, bro.
Man, I was the
Hey,
same
bro.
before I was 30, man. You know that.
I didn't know that was possible, bro. Like I see you over there like this. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what we doing.
Nah, I
Like,
wouldn't.
that's what we doing.
Nah, I'll be reading stuff, man.
But it was out cold.
Nah, that's serious. That's serious. That's serious. Nah.
Hey, G, how you doing again, G? G, do
AIT.
it again.
He look, we in AIT. Yo, like this.
Oh, you talk about then. Oh, I thought you were talking about right now. Oh, yeah. I blacked out in there. Yeah.
Gone, yo. Like, man,
Yeah.
I ain't even know we could do
Blacked
that, bro.
out.
Like, hold on,
Sitting straight
me
up,
see what-
closed out.
Hey, you
Son,
wrote
man,
Bruce
not
up with that one. He was like,
No.
"Oh, you talking about AIT? Oh, yeah."
Oh, yeah, blacked out. Yo, I had a sergeant, right? We be in training, whatever. This dude would be in the meeting like this, closed out. They be like, Sergeant Rocker, my man, every time. Amen.
Amen.
My man say you
I
wake
was
up
praying,
saying
bro.
amen, they can't tell you nothing. You was praying.
Oh man,
I was, amen.
that's funny, boy.
Yeah, that was his move. Got away with it every time too. Sergeant
Amen.
Rocker blacked out.
Is that a book?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh boy,
That's funny. That's funny.
good times, man. Good times.
Good hell.
We got to, hey, man, we might have to go in here one day, man, just tell old, boot
Just-
camp, A school type
just have
stories.
fun,
You know what I
man.
mean? Just
Yeah,
have fun,
yeah.
man. Just kick it, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
Might figure
man.
around, turn into a comedy special, man. That'd be many
Mhm.
conversations we
They're
can
gonna
have
block the
on this joint.
video. They're gonna block the
Yeah.
video.
Oh yeah, we got to find a way to keep it PG.
Yeah, of course. You want to
But
go?
no, man,
you
it's
wanna
been
go
good,
past
y'all.
that, you gotta do Patreon, man.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. But all right, man. Let's let it go right here, fellas. Another great show, another great Sunday of NFL football. And we will be. What's the matter with you, man?
I don't know, man.
You over here bugging.
Tyler crazy, man.
Oh yeah. I saw it. Yeah. But
Better get the job tax credits going.
crazy. But we'll be back with y'all on Wednesday night. Do another show because y'all know how we do. Got to get the next week's pick'em and whatever's hot in the world of sports, we're gonna discuss with y'all and open up the phone lines, hopefully interact with y'all. So anybody who was here, man, thanks so much for taking the time. I know it's getting late, but thank you for taking the time to join us, listen to what we had to say, listen to our wrap up of what is this week 4.
Week 4.
If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Make sure you share the channel if you're enjoying the content, man. Really appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's about it. We good, gents?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. We out. Peace.
Peace.
If the button works this time, right?
If not, man, I got your back, brother.